welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Neck. We've got that live tournament action. It is going to be beginning on GSL's Metropolis. This is the finals, by the way, guys, of tonight's Open Arena tournament. One of these guys will go home $15 richer. The other will only take home $5. Too very bad. But another thing to add into the first place prize pool is the fact that they get an invite to the AGL March. AGL does take place, does begin tomorrow evening. The brackets will open up. 32 players will enter. Only 4 will be leaving tomorrow, still with the possibility of taking home the phenomenal first place prize. $275 for first place in the AGL March, by the way. So $400 prize pool total. Second gets $75. Third and fourth gets $25 each. Not bad. I mean, it's pretty decent prizes. But one of these guys will be headed that way for sure. The other, potentially not. I don't know. We may end up giving both of these guys an invite. In fact, you know what? Let's do it. If anybody agrees with me, should we do it? Should we give both of these guys an invite code to the AGL March? You let me know, and we will do so. If not, then I guess let me know the other way. But it is going to be xSixPerfect. We'll just call Perfect. Spawning as our green Protoss. He loves his army green color here. Up here at the 12 o'clock position. In cross positions at the 6 o'clock, we do find vOrtix. He is going to be purple. He is Terran. And he is putting down a barracks at this point. Just to be in pretty good shape. Notice the gateway timing here. Pretty standard. Nothing crazy quite yet. However, the gas is relatively early. Get it down a little bit before the 2-minute mark. Super good stuff there from Perfect. Which I think is pretty standard opener anymore. I mean, you tend to not wait till 2 minutes and 10 seconds any longer as Protoss, and there's very few builds where you wait on your gas. Now most of the time people are pushing right into that assimilator ASAP. That helps you get out a sentry if you need it for some of your builds, and it also puts you in a decent position for stalkers as well as teching up at the same time. So we'll see how that's going to go. But notice that vOrtix on just the one barracks. We don't have any gas, so it looks like it's going to be an expand coming out of him here in just a few moments. I would guess. I would venture a guess. Can't even wager on it. There it is. Look at that. Expansion going down. Looks to be great time. 3 minutes and 15 seconds in for that one to begin. Back here at perfect space, we do have the Cybercore going down. No second gas quite yet, so not going to be super fast tech. It is 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. So standard opener. And you can see the chrono going down. Got to get that zealot out of the way so the stalker can come out. May even see a second chrono go down on that guy, while another stalker will be queued behind. But the zealot headed out across the field right now. Map control is kind of nil at this point, so Perfect going to pick that up here pretty quick. Of course, vOrtix does have to play kind of defensively. Can't really maintain that map control at this point because he is taking this early expand. You can see him putting down, wow, 2 more barracks fairly quickly. 4 minutes and 15 seconds in about to get those 2 down. And I do want to mention real quick that Lord Frisia out on the live stream says that we probably should give these guys both an invite code if we feel like they are equal level. Yeah, sounds good enough to me. We'll check that out. Here comes your zealot. He's doing a pretty decent amount of work. Is going to pick up a kill there. 1 kill, and here comes now the stalker. 2 kills on that zealot. Pretty much. Close enough. And the stalker should be able to take these guys out. Notice that the bunker, even though it's going to complete, is not quite going to be enough here. Stalker going to continue to be microed. He's got to be careful. Doesn't want to get surrounded by these SCVs. Here comes your Marine. He's going to probably put himself firmly inside of the bunker. Indeed he does. And your stalker is going to poke back in here once more. Looks like they're going to start picking away at this bunker and skirt the bunker altogether. In they go to the mineral line. Got to get away from that bunker, though. Looks like he's taking a little bit extra damage there. The stalker may indeed go down. You can see that these guys are focusing down the stalkers now, and they are definitely going to die here. They will not be able to escape anymore. But they do pick off a couple SCVs as well as stall a decent amount of mining time. Now, orbital commands, though, both completed here for vOrtix. He's got double orbitals. And we do see the tech lab going down here for vOrtix. Going to start working on some upgrades for his Marines. And oh my goodness, we have got a misrally. Ouch. A dead stalker there. Perfect. Donating to the cause of vOrtix. It looks like these guys in the bunker are shooting the supply depot here. I like that. That's cute. I've never really seen that before. They're like, hurry, get in the bunker! Shoot the neutral supply depot! From the safety from a safe vantage point, pretty smart. What can I say? Those guys are thinkers. Looks like xSixPerfect does toss down his Nexus. He's got this sucker up and running. Chrono Boost going down on his economy here, and he is going to transition into much heftier gateway production. 4 gates, 1 robo coming out. Good scan going down from vOrtix as the robotics facility is completing there. Perfect timing there. Gateway over here going to be complete in just a few moments, adding that 4th warp in possibility. And you can see that Perfect putting down a pretty decent number of sentries here as well as a couple zealots, so he appears to be in great shape defensive-wise. Of course, vOrtix probably won't be pushing out for another minute or so, just considering his position. But you can see that he's got his factor going down, so he may end up waiting a little bit longer for dropships. Getting out those medevacs, I think, is a wise idea. See if that's what he's going to do. Notice he's only got the 2 gas for the time being, continuing to produce supply depots here and there. And here comes a probe scout from Perfect. Looks like he's just going to hold the Xel'Naga Tower for the time being. But oh my goodness, look at this. vOrtix is going to push out 2 Marauders in that force. Going to be some pretty nice damage versus the Stalkers there for sure. Let's go take a look at what Perfect has got out on the field. Now he does have an Immortal. The Immortal should be able to blast through those guys with no problem, and he doesn't even have any Stalkers. Poor Marauders. They don't even have a good target here, quite honestly. The sentries, I mean, yeah, they'll be able to blast through them with not too much trouble. However, sentries probably going to be using at least 1 Guardian Shield here, as well as some force fields at the ready. Split that army up. So I think we've got a wise decision here for vOrtix to go ahead and play it a little bit more defensively. It's backed out there pretty quick. Does have a bunker going down, or a second bunker that's completed, actually. It's not even being built at this point. It is indeed done. And he's just happily mining away on these 2 bases. Now notice that we've got a forward pylon, some warp ins going down here for Perfect. And vOrtix is going to be pushing forward here. Now he's definitely seen this. He hasn't seen the pylon, actually, of all things. But here comes the force nonetheless from Perfect, and he did kind of scout that, sending out a Marine there to his death. Here comes the attack. Good force fields going down, and he's forcing the engage here. Going to focus down these bunkers as quickly as he can, but he's going to have to back out. That bunker getting pretty nicely repaired. Good force fields there once again, helping him retreat a little bit more effectively. Looks like we've got 2 Immortals. These guys do stand a chance of dying here, which is an unfortunate deal. Immortals tend to be extremely expensive this early in the game, and you do not want to lose them. These Zealots get in the game, buddies. Get in the game indeed. Looks like the last sentry does go down. Perfect stuck with very, very slow. And at this point, dead Immortals. Not going to happen. These guys do make their way to their graves. Looks like vOrtix is going to go ahead and chase down a couple more units now. Taking out the pylon here, some wise moves. So back it out just to do that. Probably going to see him gear up for a push here in just a few moments. Now we do have medevac production, 2 at a time. It looks like he's going to be in great shape here. Going to gear up for another push, but notice the supply counts are actually fairly even, and that's due to Perfect's just a pure ability to macro here. And he is going to start Colossus production, I would assume right now, except he's not. Oh, he doesn't have enough gas, so a little bit of poor planning there, but that's okay. He should have it here momentarily, and we should see that come out in just a moment. Colossus are tasty and good for you. What can I say? But there comes your first Colossus. No upgrade quite yet. He just doesn't have quite the gas that he needs at this point. Tossing down 2 forges. Looks like he's gearing up for his 3rd base. I like that play from him. In the meantime, here comes a drop. It is scouted right away, but that's a big drop. 4 medevacs here as well. That's going to be a lot of healing going down. Marines and a couple Marauders stemming forward. They're going to be blasting away all of these probes, and oh my goodness, they are just getting decimated. Just getting decimated. Looks like there's not quite enough units to defend this. There they are. Finally getting themselves into position, and Perfect has lost a lot of units. Most of them being probes, and that is just brutal. Let's just see how many it is. 13 workers killed for vOrtix. Not a bad deal. And he does escape with a pretty goodly number of those units as well. I'm going to keep 2 of these guys back here for another drop. More Colossus, though, coming out on the field. That DPS will be extremely helpful to him. Perfect. And I assume he's going to be taking his next base here in just a moment. But here comes the drop once more. Good couple warp-ins there from Perfect, warping him right in between those units. So vOrtix making a wise decision to get the heck out of there. Gotta bail that situation. You don't want to start having the zealots whap at you that quickly. But good stuff. It looks like the robotics facility happily pumping out Colossus. We've already got the one out on the field. Number 2 going to be there shortly. Looks like we have started Thermal Lance upgrade as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some more upgrades come out of these forges as soon as the +1/+1 is complete here. So going to be in a nice little position. Let's go check and see what vOrtix has got going. Notice he does have his command center building right now at this base. He did just take out those rocks down to it. And he's going for a push. Wow. Good bunch of Marauders in this army. Look at how many he's got, as well as some Vikings. Now, let's take a look at Perfect. Did he transition out of these guys quite yet? No, he did not. He is getting his Twilight Council now, but we'll be a little bit behind on, say, the Archons or High Templar at this point to defend this. So he's going to have to really micro well here in this particular engagement to hold on. And vOrtix is way ahead right now in the supply count. Good scouting here from Perfect. Does see these guys cruising out across the field. Follow him with the Observer. And he's trying to get himself into position what he thinks is going to be the best attack pattern for vOrtix. vOrtix cruising down here is going to take out one Stalker for free. And your Vikings now going to be blasting away. 6 Vikings. Are they getting focused down by the Stalkers? Not really. Good force fields here. Going to split this army pretty good. One Colossus goes down. And there goes number 2. vOrtix killing off the really, really good units there. Pretty dang fast. More force fields here from Perfect. Man, I'll tell you, he's taking a heck of a lot of damage. Got to kill off these Vikings here at this point and make that trade a little bit more worth it. But here comes too many units to be dealt with, and I feel like Perfect may end up losing game number 1 to vOrtix here. vOrtix is just doing a great job, dropping his Vikings down to the low ground. Well, down to the ground, I guess. And there are no units to defend the 3rd, and Perfect going to go ahead and sack that. Here comes a lot of Zealots. Charge is going to be complete here momentarily, but it is not currently. That is less than effective. Here comes another Colossus as well. Should be done in just a moment. vOrtix, though, picking up his units as soon as he snipes that Nexus. Really putting Perfect on his back foot here. And going to go ahead and back out. But notice that vOrtix did get his 3rd up and running in a very big way. And he's got some units headed out across the field, going to join this force. He's got a lot of medevacs starting to build their energy back up. 6 medevacs there, going to be plenty. And oh my goodness, this poor Colossus getting himself a little bit out of position. 4 Vikings going to be more than enough. Charge lot's going to be moving forward. We've got 1 force field going down, but that's not nearly enough at this point. And Charge lot's going to try and chase this army down, but with so much medevacs above, just don't think it's going to happen. Perfect losing his entire force, and there's the GG. Well played. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Game number 2 between these guys will be headed our way in just a few moments. Catch you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 here, going to be taking place on Daybreak. Map choice was perfect, so I'm sure he's going to be super comfortable on this map versus Terran. But vOrtix, tell you, a new player to me, showing a lot of strength here, making his way through the brackets in pretty decent style. We saw his semifinal. He did a great job there. And now taking down game number 1 against Perfect. So beautifully done. And here we do find ourselves in game number 2. Perfect going to be our green. Terran, or sorry, Protoss rather, down here on the bottom left-hand corner. In the top right, it is going to be vOrtix. He is red. He is Terran. Going to be kicking it up here. We'll see what he's going to open with here. My guess is he's going to probably go for another fast expand, but just because of the long distance between bases here. We'll see. We'll see how that's going to play out. I imagine that Perfect probably going to get relatively aggressive. There's a lot of places that you can hide pylons around this map. Go for some early aggression, so maybe expect a 3-gate out of him. But we'll check that out here in just a few moments. Probably going to open with his 2-minute gas and go from there. But Perfect, what a nice guy he's been, and I'll tell you, We've seen a lot of his games this evening, as well as in the past. He's played in a couple of our tournaments and placed very, very well. He's made a pretty decent amount of money. And, he's just one of those guys that comes out, he shows us always a good time. And it's really, really nice to have him playing here tonight. So shout out to him and his entire team. They're all pretty nice players. What can I say? Lord Frisia out on the live stream saying that he thinks that both of these guys do deserve a code to the Invitational tomorrow night. I'll have to agree. I say we go ahead and give vOrtix an invite code as well. So that'll be good. But now they still have to battle it out for the first and second cash prize. 15 versus $5. There is quite a difference. So want your A game, that's for sure. Now look at your opener here from Perfect. He did get that gas down at 2 minutes and going straight for his Cybercore. Standard opener. I say this again, it's always, I think, a very safe opener for tournament play. You can transition, or not transition, but you can go in a bunch of different directions off this particular opener. But wow, we've got an interesting deal coming out here. Perfect. Only mining with one probe, or no, two. Two probes on this gas. And is he going to go for a third here? Yes, he is. There we go. Okay, he's got it maxed out. Going to have 3 probes, but looks like this is kind of a refined part of his build where he knows exactly the timings that he wants to get that done. So here comes Warp Gate technology. He did get it out right as the Cybercore completed. And notice that vOrtix is going for that fast expand as was assumed. Bunker going down here for vOrtix as well, and he's going to go ahead and take out this neutral supply depot. Geez, why not? You can see that they look, they don't look too terribly similar when it comes down to it. You can see the red spots, red corners here, and they're white on the neutral supply depot. But get them out of there. You don't want to have any trouble. As a Terran player, sometimes you may end up actually selecting it or something. Wouldn't it be funny if you could cast the drop down on top of it? Oh man, that would be awesome. I'd love to see something like that. In the meantime, vOrtix tossing down a couple more barracks. 2 more barracks coming at you, and he's getting his gas now as well, so he's going to start moving into some upgrades. But the fast expand out of vOrtix, I'd say going pretty well, but Perfect following it up with the same type of deal. He does have his Stalker out on the field. Zealot holding the Zelnaga Tower, but he's not pushing out across the map here with his Stalker. So this is kind of an uncharacteristic deal for him, and he's going to be grabbing his Sentry out instead of a second Stalker. So kind of a new build here that we haven't seen from Perfect quite yet. Of course, it is the first time we've seen him with this early of an expansion as well, so that could be a big part of that. 2 more gateways going to be complete here for Perfect, and he is going to start pushing out across the field here. Now that he's got 3 units. Oh no, never mind. He's just going to take his Stalker. Probably just to hold the tower. Just holding the tower for the time being, and here we are 6 minutes in to the match. vOrtix now got his orbital command, his second up and running. Looks to be in great shape, and here comes his upgrade. Stimpack going down first. Is he going to grab another add-on here? Probably not for a little while. Here comes the factory, going to transition, I would assume, into just Starport from here. Probably not going to see him go for tanks or anything like that quite yet. It's a little bit late to get started on that, so probably just going to see Starport play. Which I agree. I mean, the nice thing about this map is there's a lot of dead space. You can camp your medevacs out in this area here and over here, so on 2 sides of the main, as well as it gives you easy access to the natural. There's a small spot here where you can camp it. So unless your opponent goes for airplay, drops can be extremely effective. And looks like vOrtix did want to move out there for a second, but he does back up here once more. Going to keep his defensive posture for the time being. He still only has the 1 bunker, but that's probably plenty for any early attacks here from Perfect. But new tech pattern from Perfect is going to be the robotics facility, currently working on the Observer. Let's head that guy out across the field here in just a few. And a good bunch of sentries and zealots here starting to pack together. It's a nice looking army. Ooh, double forges coming down for Perfect. So he's going to start working on some upgrades of his own. Stimpack is about to be complete here for vOrtix. There goes your starport, as well as a reactor, meant, I assume, for the starport. We'll check that out here in just a moment. As well as now some more gas going to go down here for vOrtix. That's his 3rd. Looks to be in great shape. No new add-ons, though, for his barracks. Kind of assumed that he was going to go for one, but Apparently not. He's just going to be sticking with the one add-on for now. It is the Tech Lab, no reactors. See if he's going to go straight for concussive shell here, but I don't know. He's kind of slight on the Marauder count. Only 5 Marauders out on the field, 6 on the way. Yeah, he's going for combat shield. Wow, interesting choice. Now, that makes me think that we should have an add-on out. We'd probably need to have a reactor out on one of these barracks. I feel like that'd be a great play here. vOrtix, though, going to be moving his factory out. Going to get some scouting intel on this back side of the third here in just a little while, or the natural. But check the third on his way there. And for perfect, we are going to go for blink play. +1/+1 is on the way as well. It's going to be a nice little upgrade pattern, but blink out with 0 stalkers may not be effective, so we should see him start to transition into some stalker production here pretty quick. We want to start to get those guys together. And we are going to have a push from vOrtix, who did take out the rocks in the center of the map. I'm going to shorten that distance just a little bit. Perfect did scout this coming, knows it's headed his way. He does have 1 stalker in his army for the time being, but a good bunch of zealots. I'm wondering if maybe he meant to click or hotkey or whatever, get charge out instead. I tend to think that they didn't make a mistake there, but he only has 1 stalker, so I'm not entirely sure how useful blink is going to be. And with this many zealots, I tell you, it would be nice right now. I bet he's probably saying to himself, boy, it should be nice to have charge right now. He can charge through those guys with not much trouble, but it looks pretty solid. I mean, good force fields here, and a guardian shield's really going to make a big difference. It looks like he is going to try and bait his opponent, maybe just a little bit. Try and let him come up to the high ground and get a flank potentially. No, he's going to cruise back down here. Here comes a drop, though, from vOrtix. Making his way in. Good force fields here. Going to keep these guys back just a little while. And stim in from behind. But a good bunch of zealots there at the ready to keep these guys pushed back. Back to mining immediately here. Perfect doing a great job. Is going to pick up the snipe on one of the medevacs. And those medevacs do go home with nobody intact. These guys stimming the heck out of there. Run, 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 run. There you go, boys. Stim away, stim away. And the dropship going to evac. But look at this. Perfect not going to be letting this guy escape. He is going to try and chase him down. We'll see if he's going to grab the kill. I assume he is. Yeah, wow, great job. And now it looks like he may even go for a push here. Wow, his third's gone down in great time. It's about to be complete. He's going to get some mining done there here fairly shortly. Probably going to try and relieve a lot of pressure at his main, which is getting relatively close to being mined out. You can see the scan going down here from vOrtix. Wants to see what's going on. We do have more upgrades on the way. It is +2/+2. And charge is currently on the way as well. Love it. Charge, I think, is a phenomenal upgrade in this particular situation. Now, I mean, you can, if you're going to go for storms, there is an argument out there that potentially you don't want to get charged if you are going to go for storms. However, it doesn't look like that's going to be our DPS here for the mid to late game. It is going to be the robotics bay, opening up that Colossus tech. So I like that from him. We've got 4 medevacs here from vOrtix and a pretty decent sized force. A bunch of Marauders now out on the field, as well as we do have now concussive shells. So to make these guys relatively effective. Looks like your factory might poke in here for another scout here in just a few moments, but I'll tell you, man, Perfect is in great shape with his tech pattern. Colossus now going to be joining the mix here. Are we going to see the transition into Vikings? Indeed we are. They are coming out on the field now in packs of 2 at this point, while vOrtix taking a forward position, so may even see him stim forward and try and snipe this third. You can see some photon cannons going down. These are not really to defend on their own. They're more to just, you know, stall the movement forward of vOrtix army. You can see that one goes down there fairly quickly, but it looks like Perfect in pretty decent shape to defend this. Great force fields. Wow, he is going to force the engagement on most of these units. Will not be able to kite back here. Good blink micro, but wow, he lost a lot of zealots there very, very quickly. And the blink micro is really pulling them through. The immortal going down is not a fun loss, but I'll tell you, these blinks once more really able to get in there, get the kills that he needs to. And we're going to start picking off. Medevacs taking him down. One more shot on this guy and he is dead. Here comes some Marauders, though. The Marauders will catch these Stalkers out of position, trying to blink away. 2 more go down and these guys will escape. But Nicely played, I'd say, from Perfect thus far, but vOrtix way ahead in the supply count. He did get his third up and running. Does have a missile turret here as well. We've got some Archons coming out on the field, and we're going to see Perfect with a pretty nice unit composition. +2/+2 is already complete. Probably going to see him start +3/+3 here momentarily as well. And look at that. Wow, he's got a lot of Colossus queued up. In fact, that's too many to have queued up. I'm a little uncomfortable with that. They take so long to build, you really only want to queue them up one at a time. And he did have 3 queued up there for just a moment. Now down to just 2 queued up. But look how far out. I mean, this guy is still 50 seconds out to be complete, which means that this is minerals and resources lost here, essentially, going unused for that entire time. So, got to be careful about that. But Perfect knows what he's doing. He does have a pretty nice force. And did he get Thermal Lance? Don't know. I guess we could go check. Before the engagement does go down, actually I can't find it. So we'll go watch the engagement instead, which is always a good idea. But we do have a lot of high temps out on the field, starting to pick up some energy. They will have a feedback. Feedback's going down on the medevacs, not too bad there. Just deny a lot of that healing power. The Vikings here ripping through the Colossus, and vOrtix taking the lead very quickly in this engagement. Nicely done. And Perfect having to fall back ASAP. He's going to try and defend here, add his photon cannons if at all possible, warping in a couple extra units, but he's way behind in the supply count there. One Archon goes down almost immediately. That one picking up a couple kills there, it looks like. But look at this, Perfect having to fall back, and vOrtix in phenomenal shape. Here comes one more Colossus. Are there enough Vikings? Yes, there are. They should be able to focus this guy down pretty dang fast. He didn't even pick up a kill here. Ouch. No kills yet, but he's still alive. No, he's dead. Take it back. Probe's being pulled here for Perfect, but this is kind of his last leg. Just trying to see if he can pull out a miracle here, or maybe vOrtix will make a mistake. It does not look likely at this point. vOrtix taken down. Game number 3. 2! Wow, that's 2 in a row. That makes it match point. My goodness. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We've got that live tournament action continuing here, and I'll tell you what, man, vOrtix is really showing a lot of strength here, making Perfect have to fight to try and come back now. It is match point for vOrtix. He is currently 2-0 in this matchup. It is only a best of 5, so one more game does seal the deal. That will give him not only the invite, but $15 cash, and he will be taking that quite happily, I would assume. So xSixPerfect. He's going to be kicking it up here as our green on Tal'Darim Altar in the top right-hand corner. Now, it's his map choice here once again. So vOrtix, though, spawning in the top left. He is going to be purple. He is Terran. We'll see how Perfect is going to play this out. I mean, this really, Perfect's got to take this game by the horns. I feel like he just kind of made a few small errors in that last game that just started to add up a little bit too much. And then vOrtix, very, very forceful. Just really good stuff. And the just taking out so many Colossus so fast, they weren't ever able to get the damage done necessary, and that's really what sealed the deal. So great games. vOrtix, gotta be happy sitting where he's at. Has not lost one game. Currently match point. Putting down his barracks in great time here. And I'm assuming standard openers here from xSixPerfect as well, though. So that means that it should actually, no, it's going to be a fast expand here. He's at 14 supply. Now 15, and yeah, so we're going to see Nexus come out of Perfect here in just a moment. Interesting. A 15 Nexus about to go down from Perfect. Very fast expansion. Going to go for the macro play. vOrtix headed out across the field for the scout. Looks like he's headed in the right direction. Is he going to try and punish Perfect for this fast expand? I wonder. It could very well be, and he can take that risk at this point. In his position, I mean, taking down the first 2 games is very, very big deal. You can see that vOrtix currently working on his orbital command on that production tab there, and just now getting the scout out on the fast expand from Perfect. Now we do have your gateway gone down for Perfect, and he is going to need it. Probably even sooner than later. You can see a gas going down here as well. Perfect, going to get some gas mining done. Excuse me. It looks like the scout here from Perfect will surpass the Marine, making his way up into the main. He's going to see the expansion going down. That's exactly what he wanted to see there. And this Marine going to pick up the kill. Probe scout from Perfect not able to get in far enough quite to see that there was only just one barracks. Of course, he could probably guess that at this point since he did see the expansion. So, good stuff. But only the one barracks out on the field. And, I mean, there's other telltale signs. I mean, part of the thing that he's doing is he's counting Marines as he's walking in there. So you're seeing 4 minutes in, there's only 2 Marines out on the field. Probably going to be just the one barracks. As well as, you know, you add up the command center in there. And so, yeah, I mean, there's not many other options that his opponent has to be putting down those particular units. So, good stuff. Yeah, and Easy Micro out there in the live stream, he is currently watching and saying that vOrtix is so good. I'll have to agree, man. Really interesting player. Just so pleased to have him playing. He's a new player to me. Perfect. Like I've said, I've seen this guy play time and again. Really strong player, but I'll tell you, this is uncharacteristic of Perfect tonight. I mean, especially even from what we saw earlier in the tournament. He was really strong earlier, and he's starting to kind of, I'd say, fall apart. Maybe he's getting a little bit worn out. He was trying to play the Playhem as well, and I think he may have busted out of there, but that's a lot of work. I mean, he's back and forth between tournaments, and you know, and it just can wear you out. I'm thinking maybe that's what we're seeing here, is a little bit of fatigue. But vOrtix at this point, he's just got Marines out on the field. He does now have his second orbital command up and running and putting down a whole bunch more barracks. And I guess it's a nice deal for Perfect since he is going with solid gateway for the time being. Going to be working on some Zealots and Sentries. The Zealot Sentry play will be fairly effective against these Marines. I like it, I like it. And Revel out on the live stream wanting to know what level of players we were dealing with here. vOrtix is an extremely high level master, and Perfect is of course a grand master. But I'll tell you, he's having a lot of trouble here with vOrtix, which speaks, I mean, just leaps and bounds here about vOrtix playstyle as well as his capabilities. Notice Perfect got a stalker out here. Gonna go ahead and scout out the movement. Sees a whole bunch of Marines trying to chase him down, and knows the push is coming. Gonna back out with these Stalkers and Zealots. Get defensive here. I like that play from him. He does have a lot of energy, though, on his Nexus. That is something I'm not super comfortable with at this point. You can see a lot of gateways going down here in the back. 6 going down back there, +2. That does make 8, so this is going to be a big kind of all-in from Perfect. But he's got to defend this first. That is his big deal right now. Going to try and split these guys where possible. Using the Guardian Shield there. Smart move. He's still not supply blocked here. And good force fielding there. Is he going to try and split these guys? No, he's not. Doesn't have enough Zealots to keep going. Here comes your Warpins once more. And the probes may end up having to be pulled here to defend. vOrtix pushing forward with his massive Marines. Wow, beautifully done. Look at that, probes being pulled, only half of them though. And I feel like Perfect really needs to get these guys out of his base, but now they're moving into the mineral line. Going to be able to take out quite a few units, may even take out this pylon if they get the chance. But the Zealots have to go down first, and look at this. He's focusing down the Stalkers as quickly as possible. These Stalkers cannot kite forever against these Marines. They're kind of stuck, having to try and defend here. Here comes another sentry. Isn't this going to be enough to hold these Marines off? But man, this push from vOrtix is brutally strong. He's in great position to potentially take down the win right here, right now, making it 3-0 against Perfect. What an accomplishment that could be here for vOrtix. And I'll tell you, it is looking quite possible right now. In fact, I would not be surprised to see a GG here from Perfect at just about any moment. vOrtix now on 2 bases, so I mean, he's not behind economically for this push. And Perfect just having a lot of trouble killing these units off. Looks like he may try, and yeah, there we go. It looks like he's finally turned the tide here in this battle, but not after losing a heck of a lot of probes to these Marines. Brutal stuff. Perfect going to be way behind in the supply count. Units tab going to show that he's down to 27 probes. Oh my goodness, that's brutal. 44 SCVs on the field for vOrtix. He is in phenomenal shape. A lot of Marines now going to be re-pushing this. It looks like Perfect going to try and back out, but oh, is he going to lose this? Please do not lose that sentry. Ouch. Ouch. Indeed, indeed. That is a big loss. here for Perfect. He absolutely needed that. Needed that for the Guardian Shield, or even potentially a Force Field, but probably the Guardian Shield is really what he's going to need here. And a bunch of Zealots. Now he's trying to get his economy back online. You can see him chrono boosting out his Nexus here. Scan going down, going to reveal a whole bunch of gateways. He is up to, wow, what is this? So 5 here, plus 4, 9 gates. And Perfect is essentially all in at this point with 9 gateways, I would think. That's a lot of production for 2 bases. But here he goes. He is going to put down a forward pylon here and get himself prepared for an attack. Let's check the defenses here of vOrtix. He's got a whole bunch of Marines out on the field. Pretty decent amount of Marauders as well. And Stim and Combat Shield is going down right now. Wow. Your bunkers now. 2 bunkers, chuck full of Marines. Great defensive posture here from vOrtix. He does have double engineering bays. Would not be surprised to see him go for some upgrades, even while he is preparing to defend this push from Perfect. Perfect still behind in the supply count. A lot of that, you got to remember though, is the economy differential there. And you can see that these bases are, both of them are taking a lot of pressure. Here comes your attack. A lot of SCVs being pulled here. Good force fields trying to keep these guys away. Both of the bunkers going down there fairly quickly, but look at how quickly the Zealots are melting here. Great kiting there from vOrtix and use of the SCVs getting into these guys' face, acting as a meat shield. And it looks like Perfect is going to have to back out. Was not able to really get tons of economic damage done here to vOrtix either. It comes down to it, as well as not even killing off the army. Let's check in on your units tab once more. 38 probes to 48 SCVs, so Perfect is still a little bit behind there. Going to re-push this, wait for that one last warp in. Decent amount of Zealots. And pretty good force fields there. Probably could have done a little better. Wanted to trap, I think, a few more Marauders. Now there's so many Marauders out on the field blasting away at these guys with good kiting, as we're seeing from vOrtix here, time and again. He is going to be able to thwart this with not much trouble. Here comes more warp-ins. Is this going to be enough? But look at this. He's only warping in like 4 or 5 at a time. He's got 9 warp gates. I mean, that just tells you he does not have the economy to support that many gateways. That's brutal. I mean, I'll tell you, this is really looking dire for Perfect. Great force fields this time. Going to force that engage for just a few moments longer than vOrtix really wanted to be kiting there. But now the force field's kind of working against Perfect. Should have really force fielded that off, I think, just a little bit better. And look at that, losing his Zealots once more. Ouch. Quite the loss. vOrtix moving forward and is going to push down, getting the GG and the congratulations out of Perfect. And Perfect commenting that Terran is a good race. Indeed it is, and vOrtix is an even better player. Beautifully done. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. That is it for the evening. Stick around for just a few moments, and if anybody wants to call on Skype, feel free. It is NAC SC2. Add me up on Skype. We'll call, talk, and we'll get geared up to pay these players as well as send them their invite codes to tomorrow's tournament. So catch you guys then. We'll see you guys later.